on the embarkment of the 100-day mark of the US-Israeli war on Iran.
Good Sunday morning. Today marks 100 days since the United States launched the first strikes against Iran.
Fresh fears of escalation on Iran as we pass 100 days since the beginning of this conflict.
On the 28th of February, President Donald Trump announced the start of Operation Epic Fury. 100 days on, it's clear this war has lasted far longer than anyone anticipated.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks.
Why are all these cabinet secretaries at the Knicks game tonight? Why is Steve Witkoff at the Knicks game on the day that we're about 100 days into the war with Iran?
A restart of the war due to collapsing peace talks and a breached ceasefire agreement is before us. On 7th June, Iran bombed Israel for the first time since the ceasefire.
Iran says it's suspending talks with the U.S. in protest of Israeli strikes in Lebanon.
That President Donald Trump has apparently lashed out at Benjamin Netanyahu in a phone call. This is what Axios is reporting, citing 2 US officials and a third source briefed on this phone call. So according to these reports, Donald Trump says, "You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this."
Just moments ago, sirens blaring in northern Israel after multiple missile launches from Iran.
The Middle East ceasefire is in danger tonight as Iran fires multiple waves of missiles at northern Israel, the first since the fragile truce was brokered in April.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this Sunday. Tonight, a dangerous turn threatening the already fragile ceasefire in the Middle East. Iran has fired multiple waves of missiles at northern Israel, the strikes lighting up the night sky and sending people rushing.
Iran has launched a wave of missiles towards Israel. Sirens have sounded across the country with projectiles seen over northern Israel.
Iran had fired at Israel earlier on Sunday, which was also the 100th day since the US-Israeli war with Iran began. Iran has long said that any deal with the US to end the war would depend on maintaining a ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel. Israel was at war ostensibly with Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, but within days, Israel launched its latest strike on Beirut, which is what provoked Iran to attack Israel on Sunday. Donald Trump, in an online post, insisted Iran and Israel must stop firing at each other. The US considers Israel's war with Lebanon, particularly Hezbollah, entirely separate to the one with Iran, but Iran is keen to lump them together as leverage and considers them multiple fronts to the same overarching conflict.
In retaliation, Israel bombed Iran back, targeting critical infrastructure and killing army officials.
We begin with breaking news out of the Middle East, where Israel says it has struck military targets in western and central Iran. It comes just hours after Iran fired multiple waves of missiles at Israel, the first time it's launched attacks since the ceasefire came into effect in April.
And we're getting some breaking news right now from Iranian news sources that there have been several explosions heard in Tehran, Tabriz, and Isfahan.
Petrochemical company in Bandar Mahasher, as per the Iranian state media, and smoke rising from the Karun Petrochemical company in Bandar Mahasher, Khuzestan. Meanwhile, Iran launches new wave of ballistic missiles at Israel.
Explosions were heard in Tehran, Isfahan, and Tabriz as Israel said it had attacked military targets in western and central Iran. Israel said its attacks on Iran were justified despite warnings from the US president, saying no self-respecting country would tolerate Iran shooting missiles at them.
This escalation was due to Iran's red line being crossed, with that red line being Lebanon. Lebanon was not included in the peace deal, to Iran's dismay, which led to Israel invading southern Lebanon with the full intent of occupying it, plus destroying Iran's proxy of Hezbollah.
More than 7,000 people across the region have died. Lebanon has borne the heaviest toll, more than 3,500 dead, as Israel escalates its offensive against Iran's proxy, Hezbollah. More than 1 million Lebanese people have been displaced, and Israel now occupies nearly a fifth of the country after making its deepest advance in more than 2 decades.
Iran before issued evacuation warnings to northern Israel telling the world that attacks on Beirut would be met with severe consequences. Iran's attack was not a surprise. The Israelis anticipated it. Iran had cleared out 50 of the 69 tunnel entrances US and Israeli warplanes bombed and blocked, and so they were able to resume strikes on Israel with nothing preventing their launches. Iran declared their interests would be secured through missiles rather than dialogue, and that was on full display in their attack on Israel, an attack that came at a time the Iranian president was rumored to be resigning from office due to interference from the Revolutionary Guards, who are now running Iran. Later on refuted those claims and rumors. Israel had felt the sting of Hezbollah and their military capabilities, and so responded by blowing up entire housing complexes in southern Lebanon, as well as other devastating attacks all across occupied Lebanon in the intent of achieving Greater Israel.
We are ready for talks, just as we had raised this issue during the time of our martyred supreme leader. We are now also ready to reassure the world that we are not seeking nuclear weapons. We are not seeking instability in the region. The destabilizing force in the region is Israel, which is pursuing the Greater Israel Plan and is conspiring in various ways to sustain war, instability, and division in the region.
Iran responded with a crashing attack, which was replied to despite Trump's futile attempts to quell an Israeli retaliation, showing the true power structure and chain of command. This is a war with no real victors, as ordinary citizens of both countries and the world who bear the economic and geopolitical consequences of their evil leaders, as this is a war fought by evil on all sides.
We will drag the war to the Indian Ocean, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the Red Sea, and the Mediterranean, and we will give another dimension to the war by attacking these other American bases that we have been attacking so far.
Hello?
Donald, it's Bibi. Quit stalling. It's time to do the thing.
What thing?
The thing you've been talking about.
Oh, that thing. Well, you see, the thing is, I got a thing.
Another thing?
A thing called Cuba.
Public